United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
The craziest thing in the world is watching how high that soundbar spikes when Cora is across the room snoring.
Just breathing.
Just existing.
She could be fully awake.
And her back's turned us and everything. She's still loud as hell. Hey, what's up? My name's Noelle, and I want to welcome the masses to the Free Britney movement. Because of Netflix or Hulu or Prime, whoever the fuck it was that did that documentary on Britney, everyone knows what we've been new.
Yeah. I wonder. Oh, and I'm Chelsea. I am. Did you say what you were?
Yeah. I said I was welcoming everyone.
Well, I'm Chelsea. I'm the Nike Monarchs of every barbecue and dad on the weekends. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I would really like it if Hulu would cite their sources, aka us.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they started this endeavor when we did the podcast on it.
Absolutely.
And you know what else? After we did our Don't Bomb Nessie or monster, Water Monsters episode, last podcast on the left did their Lake Monsters episode. And I'm like, I'm going to count these as scoops.
Yeah.
Scooped.
Serious.
Scooped Hulu.
The synchronicities.
Scooped last
when
podcast
it happens too much, you're like, There's no such thing as coincidence.
No. Every time we say synchronicity, take a drink. I'm drinking water.
I have water as well over here.
And I got a quiet straw.
Wow, that is silent. Mine is actually not quiet. It's more of like a sippy cup, so it gets like pressurized. Ready?
Yeah. We would you were so mean to me about my straw being loud.
I wasn't mean. That was just reality. Reality hurts. It was the loudest thing in the world. I can't handle it.
I went to I have too many cute stickers on this, so I went to their website and I was like, can I order a new straw? And I did for $8.
You know, I'm going to give you a little pro tip because I see your stickers. And one thing that I've learned, because I've gone through so many fancy water bottles and I put God, I had this fucking cool ass water bottle. It was an expensive water bottle, and the stickers I had on it were from this guy from a comic book convention, and they were all fucking succubusy, satanic demon goats, and all over it. It was the coolest fucking thing. And then God only knows where that thing went. The water bottle's gone. It got lost. It got thrown away. Whatever. I think honestly it got weird moldy because it was a folding straw top, and right. I was so disgusted. I threw the entire thing away. It,
yeah.
So you know what the thing is now? I did put a few on here, but you go online and you get a fucking clear phone case.
Bish, I have that.
Yeah. You get a clear phone case and you just put the stickers in the back and you don't unpeel them. You just put them back there.
Yeah,
and
that's...
it's so fucking... It's the best...
Son
nice.
of a bitch.
Nice. Chelsea dropping her phone. It's the best fucking... And then you can constantly change it and customize it. And then you're like, what am I going to do with all these stickers? Make cool collaged DIY backgrounds. That's what you do.
That's what I have in here. Valentine Studios has horror comic tarot card stickers that I got.
That's so cool.
And but also my Resist the Reptilian Agenda pop socket holder for my phone blocks it.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have a pop socket.
I live in a world of first world problems, and frankly, I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I've got...
Son of a bitch!
You're really fucking up.
I just can't.
You're a fake friend because on my phone, I have the Chelsea and Noelle Go to Hell flame sticker. And
ma'am?
I have... Yeah, but that's on your water bottle where... anything could go wrong.
I ordered a new straw so that I could keep this thing.
I don't believe you. And then we've got our matching Nick Cage's Superman stickers.
Yeah.
And then I've got a pure terrifying symphony of horror from Dumb Good.
I have who did we buy the stickers from? I got Sakura. I got Card Captor Sakura cards, but she also makes these cute little ones here that I got The fuck is that?
Well,
It's like Toppy Doki, or is that the?
oh, Teradoki?
yeah.
Teradoki.
I have some of her stickers on here.
Yeah.
You know,
So fucking cute. Also, speaking of, since we're talking about stickers, kind of, if you're online, you've seen it. Kelly Holloran, who is number one bestie of the podcast and fantastic artist, she's the one who created the redesigned logo. Everything she does is incredible and perfect. And she put up some enamel pins. Well, not enamel. They're acrylic pins, whatever you want to call it. They sold out immediately. So she put some more on there. So they're up again and available. Her Etsy is Wild Wood Owl. You can get the stickers that you see, well, that we were just talking about. The flame logo and then the new logo of us cheersing on the beach. And we do have a new sticker pack coming out.
it's so
fucking cool.
dope.
It's so cool. It's more customized, I would say, sayings from the podcast, which I think is fun. Whereas like the stickers you can get now are like the logo. This is more of a deep cut.
Yeah.
Insider edition
Yep.
stuff.
But I have showed them to people who don't really listen. And they're like, oh, I would get that.
Yeah.
They are very cute.
They're very
They're very
cute.
topical.
They're very topical. And honestly, current.
Absolutely.
Very
yeah.
current. There's some stickers on there that, we're talking
may
about
have
in the headlines.
We may have scooped.
Yeah, we may have scooped in the beginning of this
Also, we
episode.
don't take any money from that stuff. So it all goes towards her shop and like supporting her art. So look into that. Support local artists.
Yeah, support local artists. I honestly for me, the art that Kelly creates is like guerrilla media for me. I'm like, she can take all the profit. I just want everyone to be wearing that shit and having that shit. And I think it's really
Agreed.
cool.
Yeah, you know what? One of my friends was telling me about how My Favorite Murder started suing artists who were making stuff like that, like fan art or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, they were suing them, and they're like, you can't make profits off of like our shit. Like you can't, if they say something on the podcast and the little Etsy artist puts it on a sticker, they were suing the hell out of them.
Jesus.
So we'll say here and now, we will literally never do that.
I'll never do that.
In fact, I'll buy it.
I will buy it. I
and
have
I'll
bought it.
Share it.
Yeah.
I think that is the douchiest fucking
It
thing in the
is.
world to do.
You want to know why? Because success isn't a pie.
No.
It's for all of us.
And I had an Etsy shop back in the day. Like, you are not making the same lucrative profits that you are on like the advertising that they're running on their podcast.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's like Georgia and Hannah. What are their fucking names?
I don't know, dude.
Well, fuck you.
Georgia Hardstark is one of them, and then I don't know who the other one is, but it doesn't matter because we're not them and we'll
Nope.
never sue you.
No.
I honestly love it. I love when people want to make art for us or inspired by any of the
Yeah.
bullshit that falls out of our mouth. Like, I think that's great.
And if you can make money off of it,
Even
hell
better.
yeah, do
Even
it.
better.
Do it.
Even
Make that
better.
your side hustle.
I guess we'll start making money, kind of, maybe. We'll see. We're going to try to revamp the Patreon.
I forgot about the Patreon.
It's so hard. I'm not even trying to be dramatic, but every single time people bring up, like, will you guys just do the Patreon again? Because at this point, I'm like, it's just to support us if you can. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Help pay the fees that we have to pay to keep this shit up and running. That's what the Patreon is. I don't give you anything other than a crisp high five telepathically. But then every time someone comes around and they like give me a really great argument as to why we should do the Patreon. And I'm like, yes, you're right. It is always right after I break up with someone. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. It's like they know.
It's like a really bittersweet reminder that the universe does care about you.
I know.
It's like, hey,
It's so stupid. It's like, I know you want to say some shit and put a paywall in front of it.
we
Patreon.
That'd be a really good one. That's really good, actually. If
You know
wanna
what I mean?
original shit.
Like, because it is. Because I remember we're chill now, so I can say this. We're buds now. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like right when Shane left the podcast and like we had broken up, I went on Patreon and was like, you guys. And then and then of course, like I think the next thing I did was like after I broke up with Jake, and then I was like, you guys, guess what?
Yeah. We went hard on Jake.
I know.
Jake, if you're listening,
Fuck you.
I don't care still.
I don't. But it's like literally every fucking time. It's so weird. It's like they know.
Yeah.
They're like, I can tell you're like vaguely sad on Maine, so like let's get it out.
I'll send you
Let's
$1.
get it out. So yes, we will be doing a Patreon episode immediately following this, and there is a paywall for good fucking reason. Speaking of my self-indulgence, we had a completely different episode planned this week.
Yeah. Yep.
Chelsea had researched, had notes, everything. Like we honestly have the biggest Rolodex we've had as far as episodes lined up that have research already done for them.
Yeah, we're knee deep in research.
Literally
right
for like multiple topics across the gamut, from like conspiracy theory to shitting on Stan Lee and everything in between. Like we're prepping, and because I am a selfish asshole, I had to be like, hey, stop everything you're doing. I'm completely derailing this week to give into my self-indulgence and talk about the terrible holiday that is Valentine's.
Here's what I like about you derailing, though. It's not just like a derailing of like, we're doing this. You're like, I want to do this. Here's my Google document. I have tabs. I have titles.
Yeah.
I have the script written. And then you sent it to me and you're like, make edits if you need. And I was like, I can't. This is like, what? Am I going to put eyebrows on the Mona Lisa? Absolutely not.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to make this a Valentine's Day massacre extravaganza. And I think that everyone kind of like knows that Valentine's Day has like a morbid beginning, but I don't even think they realize how far back it goes.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so let's get
We're gonna
into
learn today. It's gonna be edutainment.
Edutainment. Valentine's Day, also called Saint Valentine's Day on February 14th, has origins in the Roman festival of Lupercalia, which is held in mid-February. And it celebrated the arrival of spring, had fertility rites, and the pairing off of women with men by lottery. So, Lupercalia.
I looked it up and I was like, oh, these pagan things, like these old pagan things are so fun. And then they're like, oh yeah, they just are going to kill puppies.
Yeah.
And because we want to celebrate Romulus and Remus being suckled by a wolf before they built Rome. So we're going to also like whip women with bloody strips of wool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's really romantic. Isn't it romantic when you're 10 years old and you're sobbing, holding on to your mother's apron as the lottery is drawn for you to be sent away with some 35-year-old man?
Yeah, it's like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But no one wins.
No one wins.
There's no way out.
No. There's no Katniss here.
No.
There's only you getting raped.
Oh, God. What? It's romantic, right? That's what
real.
they want it to be.
And it's just like, and we're out here like, ooh, happy Valentine's Day, rape. Okay, think about that.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
You're
You're
a
going
piece
to
of
wish that
shit.
on someone?
Can't believe you.
On
Horrible.
this was a holy day.
You all are canceled.
Canceled.
Everyone's
If
canceled.
you give one single fucking Valentine.
You're canceled because you're supporting women being paired off by lottery. Also, them being whipped till they're bloody.
And puppy murder.
And puppy murder, yeah. It's like if you were to like pick your brain for the darkest like topics, it would be like murdering puppies and kittens, rape,
Yeah.
People being sold off into like sex slavery.
Yeah, you'd be like,
And
what's your
then-
worst nightmare? And I'd be like, like just having no control, being married off to a gross dude,
Yeah.
someone killing puppies in front of me.
Yeah. And that's what it was.
This is
Happy Valentine's Day.
No.
Happy Valentine's Day. Here's
No.
a dead puppy. That's what it was.
I don't want it.
So really romantic. At the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius, I guess, the first, replaced Lupercalia with St. Valentine's Day because, as we do, we like to take it and zhuzh it up. They take it and they zhuzh.
Yeah, well, Lupercalia was a little bit too Stevie Nicks, and we had to Celine Dion it a little bit.
Make it a little bit more commercial.
Yeah, get it out of the witch hat and put it in a nice suit.
Yeah. And he most likely called it St. Valentine's Day because there are an unbelievable amount of Christian martyrs named Valentine. From a priest who was martyred in about 270 CE by the Emperor Claudius II? Gothicus? Who knows? I'm not a historian.
Gothicus
Claudius Gothicus?
is the coolest name.
Claudius Gothicus II. According to legend, the priest signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended. Saint Valentine of Turini, a bishop, defied the emperor's orders and secretly married couples to spare the husbands from war. Blah, blah, all that.
Yeah.
Look how cute. We love God and romance. Formal Valentines started to appear in the 1500s when yearly outbreaks of plague and sickness were the norm because people thought soap was from the devil. What? Do you have any?
Soap. Probably because it gets in your eyes and it hurts. One thing I heard, not recently, but growing up, I always heard that Mormons weren't allowed to shower on Sundays because water was the devil's element. And
Water's the devil's element?
Yeah. And then I thought about it, this is why it's coming up, because I thought about it again because you shared the Constantine thing and they used the water to go to hell.
What?
You remember when Constantine's like, I'm going to go to hell? And he puts his feet in the water.
Yeah.
And then he puts the mummy's wife in the water. What's her name? I don't know. I'm having a fucking
You're
stroke.
really fucking this up.
I'm having a stroke. Anyway, soap from the devil. Not the plague
Hold on.
and filth, but soap from the devil.
Yeah, not hygiene. Wait. They really think that water is the devil's thing?
That's what I was...
What about why not fire? We're mostly made up of water.
No.
Water is cleansing and healing.
God appeared... No. Traditionally in ritual, fire is cleansing. So that's why they burn witches and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, God appeared to Moses as a burning bush.
Oh,
That is the ultimate symbol. It's the opposite of that.
I think Moses was tripping on fucking LSD.
Maybe. We don't even know if Moses was his real name, man. Why would
True.
an Egyptian pharaoh's daughter give a baby she found a Hebrew name? Because he was circumcised?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No.
I mean, really though. Okay, so back when everyone was just dying constantly, they were like, let's send each other Valentines.
We're 15 and we got only months left.
Honestly, every day is a gift. Something really cute and quirky you and your partner could have done would have been to go to the town center and watch a peasant be hanged for stealing bread. And then you could have exchanged Valentines.
Yeah, that was the OG mistletoe.
Yeah. Do you want to go watch a public hanging? I love you. Happy
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. And by the late 1700s, commercially printed cards were being used while we were stealing lands from native people and once again giving the gift that keeps on giving, plague.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that though? Literally late 1700s. So we've come here and we've killed most of the natives and we're white is right and whatever. And then we're by the way, I love you as just the trail of tears.
the original Valentine for white people was dead non-white people.
It's true.
And that's what really got the women lubricated.
These are facts.
It's total facts. He's like, I love you. Look at how superior I am to every other color on the planet.
Check this out. Yeah. Once again, I said,
and then
canceled. Valentine's,
and then they probably
canceled.
died of syphilis.
Yeah, they went crazy first.
Thomas
Had
Jefferson.
to, like, go behead people and shit. Anyway, because Christians are the most flip-floppy of all religions, Valentine's Day is often represented by the Roman god of love, Cupid. You know, I really like to throw that one in because isn't there something in the Bible that says, like, there will be no God before me or some shit?
Yeah.
And then we're all like, hee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we do other ones too, though, kind of, right?
We do it with everything. Like, dude, Hades could totally be the devil, you know? Pretty much every single Christian holiday was, like, taken from pagans.
Yeah,
and it's
is not Jesus, but Hercules, but Thor.
It's a hero with 1,000 faces.
Yeah.
And it's always so fun when, like, I don't know, when people are like, nuh-uh, when you try to call them out about it. I'm like, that's like the history of your religion. Plus, like, none of these holidays fucking matter if you really want to be
I feel
strict.
Like true religious people would not celebrate any holidays.
Yeah, it's like
even
a Seventh-day Adventists, like, don't celebrate even birthdays.
Honestly, they're the only ones that are right. Because why are we celebrating Valentine's Day if the representative of it is the Roman god of love?
Like, Christianity is just paganism with leather chaps on. It's just sexier.
It's true.
Or less sexy.
I think it would be less sexy. I think Christianity is paganism, but in a turtleneck.
With corduroy overalls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But then you take it off and the leather chaps are underneath.
That's Catholicism.
Yeah. But we see little cupids everywhere, like little cherubs. Like, that's like what they're depicted as. That's totally ripped right from fucking like old Romanesque type of religion.
Yeah. What does God think about that?
I don't know.
Not good.
Probably not good.
Probably not.
But I was raised to not give a shit.
You
about
shouldn't.
that
I don't think you
stuff.
should.
So
I don't think you should. And just a little bit more history before we talk about death, as we rightfully should. February was thought to be aviation mating season. So birds
it's when airplanes
in aviation.
when two airplanes love each other. No, birds aren't real. We got to stay on
avian
topic.
mating season.
Yeah,
okay,
all right,
avian, also aviation mating season. Avian mating season. So that's why birds became a symbol. And then, of course, you know, I don't think anyone needs to be explained like roses and whatever. So, like, we get it. We fucking get it. Now let's talk about death and stuff. I think the most popular thing that people remember or know of, because I even remember, like, being a little emo kid in 2005 and being like, you know, Valentine's Day is about murder. Mm-hmm. And it was about this. February 14th, 1929, we were all gifted the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 7 members and friends, you know, there always has to be casualties, of Chicago's North Side gang were hanging out, getting ready for a little party, when they were lined up against a wall and shot by 4 unknown assailants who were dressed like police officers. The incident resulted from the struggle to control organized crime in the city during Prohibition. And this was mainly between, like, the Irish Northsiders, headed by George Buggs. I guess that's his... Like,
Bugsy Moran. He was only, like, 5 feet tall.
Bugs... Oh. That sucks for him.
That's why he was so mad.
Bugsy. And their Italian South Side gang rivals, led by Al Capone. The perpetrators have never been identified, but former members of the Rats gang who worked for Capone, so they were, like, suspected of it, as were members of the Chicago Police Department who allegedly wanted revenge for killing a police officer's son.
I remember learning about this in 8th grade. Mr. Pusey, shout out.
Shout out.
Davis. What up? I don't think he listens to this, but if you know him,
don't.
We had to do. We had to create a scrapbook about this.
About
St. Valentine's
the
Day
murder?
Massacre. Yeah.
Between gangs?
Yeah, in 8th grade, Central Davis Junior High, Mr. Pusey's class. And we also had to do one about the Lindbergh baby.
Interesting.
He was such a good fucking teacher. I remember everything he ever taught me. Can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. And that, my friends, is the value of good education.
It's true.
You got to get kids into what they want to learn, and then you have them scrapbook it, which is fun.
Scrapbooking crime scene photos of a mob hit, honestly.
How fun is that? You know what? I cut out the cutest little blood droplets shaped like hearts. They like fell down into hearts. It was so fucking cute.
I would love to do that right now, honestly.
We should.
Yeah.
Got nothing else going on.
Yeah. Print out some crime scene photos. Let's make scrapbook.
But yeah, this was like always notoriously just like a super open secret. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Al Capone did the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, no one got in trouble for it. Oh, the cops didn't care.
Yeah.
This is like classic crime movie stuff.
Yeah, this is my favorite type of crime where it's white on white crime. That's my favorite.
And it goes all the way to the top. See?
It does. And it makes it a little bit like more cinematic because you're like the cops were in on it.
Yeah. Like
pulling triggers, pushing papers. Nobody got caught, even though basically Al Capone showed up and was like, let's kill him.
Yeah. The North Side gang and the rats are going at it in the back alley. These aren't the only hearts being broken today. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Was that good?
You've really been practicing your transcontinental or whatever the fuck you call that.
I got so fucking good at doing British accents, and now I just realized I have a calling.
Yeah.
Just
make a reel. Put it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's the one that everyone else knows about. But what we all should know on top of that is much like Christmas, Valentine's Day likes to bring out the worst in people, whether that's your boyfriend not getting you flowers, your husband leaving you for the mistress, the non-existent partner you haven't seen in 10 years, the Canadian girlfriend who steals money from your bank account, or being murdered by your spouse. You know, that's really what Valentine's Day is about. And it goes back to its roots more than telling people you love them.
If you set your standards so low, you just can't be disappointed.
It's true.
So really, maybe these people are the real winners of Valentine's Day.
I agree. So, let's talk about it. Valentine's Day 2001. Dr. John Hamilton ordered an expensive bouquet of flowers for his wife, Susan, which we later found out is orchids, which is like, who buys a bouquet of orchids, you fucking loser?
Yeah, that's just, he got that shit at Walgreens, and we all know it.
I know it. Coming home between surgeries, shock. Oh my God. Pretend to be shocked.
He's such a doctor.
He found her dead in a pool of her own blood. She had been strangled with 2 of his neckties and had her skull beaten so badly that pieces of her brain were exposed. Hate when that happens.
Gross. Reminds me of Lord of the Flies. When Piggy falls off the mountain and then his brains go everywhere.
Yeah.
They piggied her.
They did piggy her. By their friends' accounts, Susan and John were a happily married couple. Just like Ted Bundy's neighbors said he was a really cool guy. But as anyone who knows anything about husbands, they're always the suspect. Investigators found the Valentine's Day card Susan had written John, and it said, I bought my card 2 weeks ago, so I guess maybe they don't seem as appropriate now. But I do love you. Have a good day, Susan.
What if it was the passive aggressiveness that killed her? It just exploded. They're like, her brain is everywhere, but it exploded from the inside out. And everyone's like, oh.
Honestly.
She found out he bought her orchids.
And he was like, got it.
And then it was like, oh, is that gif. Her brain just full on exploded. Yeah. That has to be what happened.
Yeah.
This is the end of the story.
That's it. And then no one was found guilty, and they were like, wow, I can't believe that happened.
Or was it?
Never. It never is. I do love that, though. The passive-aggressive Valentine's Day card left on the kitchen counter is what made the investigators go, maybe we should look into this guy.
Right. I sign bitchy emails with have a good day all the time and a little wink face.
Please let me know if you have any other questions or concerns.
Yeah. Refer to my previous email. Have a good day.
As mentioned before. So, some of Susan's family confirmed to the police, who were a little sus, that she was considering divorce after discovering him fucking around with sex workers.
Damn it, John.
Damn it. You know what's so wild to me is that divorce is attached with such negative connotation that people think it's easier to beat your wife's brains out than go through it.
Dude, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
He is so unwilling to part with even one trace of his weird doctor money.
Yeah. You know that that's what it is.
Yeah, instead of finding a relationship that's fulfilling, he's willing to like make it rain on sex workers, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't take any of that like just raw emotional like turmoil and put it into something productive. I bet he gave people ulcers instead of remove them.
Yeah.
When he was operating on
Honestly,
people.
he may have been an angel of death in disguise and he took himself out.
Yeah. We're calling you out, Dr. John.
Right. Police also found traces of blood and flesh in Mr. Hamilton's car.
He's like, I brought him home from work.
Right? They're like, well, funny thing about that is it's a piece of your wife's skull.
He's like, no, she was really passive aggressive, so she just leaked that.
They also found Susan's jewelry hidden in an underwear drawer, almost as if someone had wanted the police to think a robbery had taken place. Which I think this is a funny thing because this is what happens when you overplan, right? Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you lose the gift of improv.
Yeah.
When you overplan, it's too many details, too many moving parts, and it's just the red herring that you're a murderer.
Right. And what a piece of shit. He can't even like... He has to fake steal his wife's stuff. He can't just be like, I can part with some of her jewelry. Like, I can throw it in a river.
Yeah.
I can dispose of it in a way where it won't be found to make my story more plausible. But no, he's like, I'm going to need to cash this in later.
So it's just going in.
He's just hiding it in her drawer.
Yeah. He's a smart man. He's a doctor.
They will just let anyone be a doctor these days.
I know it. And... as is a regular conclusion for these things, a expert witness testified that the blood splatters on Mr. Hamilton's sleeve were consistent with someone beating the fuck out of his wife.
Ah, the science.
The jury convicted him of murder in less than 2 hours.
He's like, listen, I realize that beating my wife to death may have caused her death, but really what killed her was the brain coming out.
Yeah.
I'm just a mere victim in all of this. They should have convicted him on having enough money to get his wife nice things and only giving her orchids for Valentine's Day.
That's very true. You know, life. You get life without parole for that one.
Also, why even buy her the orchid? He wanted to show that he was a loving husband. That's why.
Yeah.
But he couldn't even like take it a step further. He could have sold her jewelry in advance. She probably would have noticed. They're not going out on any dates.
True.
And use that money to buy her the roses, launder the jewelry into the system a little bit. Couldn't even do that.
No. Nope. Too many moving parts.
Yeah, you're
also,
right. You lost improv.
Yeah, the gift of improv. When you lose it, you get caught. I also know that the jury is out still about blood splatter testimony and stuff. I'm indifferent towards it.
You know,
I watched The Staircase. I understand.
I understand. Yeah, I can see it where it's like, yeah, there's some weird blood splatter here. But he had a blood splatter of his wife on his arm.
Yeah.
From beating her to death. So it's like, I don't need to be an expert to realize that like blood transfer happened in the act of murder.
Yeah.
Now,
also, the brain matter in his car.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't even be bothered to like Patrick Bateman and put a raincoat on first.
No.
Real surgeon he is.
Fucking idiot.
Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to fuck up this guy's name so hard.
I know how to say it.
Oscar
Pistorius. He's the Blade Runner.
Pistorius.
That's fine. It's applicable.
Yeah, he is the Blade Runner. He rose to fame after his victory in the 2004 Paralympics, which you said he's the Blade Runner. If you look up a picture of him, he's literally got like the
he has like
arch blade feet, both. And he's fucking Terminator coming after you.
Yeah, I didn't realize that because when I hear Paralympics, I would always think of my friend who works with like Special Olympics. But it's such a different tier in the sense that they'll kill you in the competition and outside of the competition.
It is true. So, some people know him from that, and some people know him because he fucking murdered his girlfriend. While Pistorius
Well, and his girlfriend sounds like a Harry Potter character, Riva Steenkamp.
Riva Steenkamp is not a great name. I will say that.
I'm immediately going to Rita Skeeter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Riva Steenkamp.
Yeah. Riva Steenkamp is also in the bathroom crying as a ghost.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. You're thinking of Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who she is. She's going to be in there with Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah. Not a snazzy reporter with like big old horned rimmed glasses. No, right. Yeah.
I'm thinking she's a ghost. You went more play on words name.
Yeah.
I went play on how she was murdered.
What if she goes full Quirrell and is Voldemort on the back of Oscar's head for the rest of his life? I would be that petty.
That would be cool. Yeah. Fuck haunting someone. Become the tumorous face that lives on the back of their head. Yeah. Whispering sweet nothing.
Yeah.
So while he admits that he fired the gun that killed her, he denies that it was murder. He claims that he thought he heard an intruder and that he was acting in self-defense.
Yeah, the old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo. You know, the old switcheroo when your girlfriend walks into the living room to call you out on being abusive, cheating liar, and then you think you mistaken her for an intruder and you shoot her point blank in the face.
Yeah, the soft padded feet and the confidence in a walk of someone who lives there.
Yeah.
And not the tiptoeing, like, looming presence of an actual intruder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, you know, like the fact that you were having an argument with her beforehand and she, you know, walked up to you to confront you and then you shot her in the face, you know?
It was 2 p.m.
Yeah.
They had just taken a selfie together. He knew she was in there the whole time.
But it was, you know, an intruder.
No, the intruder was coming from inside the house the whole time.
The call was always coming from inside the house.
And then he shot it.
Yeah.
He shot her and then he shot the phone.
Yeah. Despite his claims that there was an intruder and that he was acting in self-defense, no one fucking bought it. And thankfully, prosecutors were able to recover text messages from Riva's phone that says, from that day, saying that she was afraid of Pistoris and that he was capable of snapping aggressively at her.
Yeah, he was real pissy.
Full of piss.
Full of piss, one might say. And he ruined Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, it was ruined from the beginning. What part of that don't you understand? It was always ruined. It was ruined from the dead puppies and the rape and the women lottery to now.
Well, you know, I'm sure somewhere
to when fucking Blade Runner shoots his girlfriend in the fucking face.
He had like the blade feet like the girl does on the Kingsman.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
I actually got Kingsman. So here's the thing. Here's a little side note.
Yeah.
Before we talk about more murder. So I saw, you know, like fan cams. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean when I say fan cams? Like the edits with like the glittering like side slideshows of pictures. And they kind of started in K-pop and now people do it like everyone and cute little songs will be behind it. So I saw a Pedro Pascal fan cam of scenes from him from Kingsman.
Yes.
And I was like, damn. So I ran to FYE and bought Kingsman, but it was the first one. He's not in that one.
No.
Still.
He's in the Golden Circle, Noelle.
I had no idea. I've never seen any of these. And that, honestly, I know.
That's the real crime of Valentine's Day.
Well, also, they really did a shit-ass job of advertising that movie. Let's call it like it is.
Did they, though?
Yes. I had no idea that it was going to be such a fucking romp. I had the best time watching that movie. Well, I was like, this is fantastic.
I just watched Golden Circle last week, and Oliver was so gooped when I told him that fucking Mandalorian is like that same guy.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, he didn't believe me.
And he's like
it's fucking
the
Mando.
American cowboy baddie.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You know what I love about Pedro Pascal?
Everything.
Besides everything?
Yeah.
Specifically, is he has that thing where, like, he's not conventionally, like, what Hollywood would consider attractive. Right. But there's something just so delicious about him.
I would let him be mean to me.
Absolutely.
Like,
every day.
Like, he could be like, come over, and I'd go over at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, let's talk. And he'd be like, I'm tired. You should order an Uber. And I'd be like, absolutely, I should. And then I would go the fuck home.
Yeah. You would say
I would
nothing
let him
of
be
it.
so mean
and
to
he'd be
me.
like, untag me from that.
Yep.
No one can see that we talked. I'm like, fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I agree. There's something about him that is just like, I can't, it's like Joseph Gordon-Levitt gives me those same vibes.
Yeah.
Where there's something just so like pure
I get that
and
from
warm.
Nick Cage. I get it from Nick
Well,
Cage.
that's where we're
He has those
different
pock
here.
marks
Oh
from
my
his
God.
teenage acne, and I could just crevice down into one and sleep there.
Oh my God. Girl.
I thought we were bonding.
No. Not about taking naps and pockmarks, you fucking creep.
There's something I find endearing about him.
There's something I find endearing about Pedro Pascal.
I would agree.
And as much as I say that I would let him be mean to me, I know that he wouldn't because he's incapable of being mean.
But even if he did leave me on red, I would fucking thank him for the privilege.
I would thank him that he just read it. He didn't have to reply. He just saw it.
Yeah, I'd be like,
he absorbed it.
like one single tear.
Yeah. So I've got to watch the one with him in it, and my body is ready.
I think Oliver bought it on Prime, and I will get him to send you his login info so that you don't have to
Please.
buy it.
Thank you. We love that.
Yeah.
The us.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about death. Valentine's Day, 2013. What were you doing in 2013? I was a year into living here.
Yep.
I was working at Urban Outfitters.
Yep.
And Lush.
Yep.
And my husband, because I was a child bride, was in jail for beating someone up.
We had just started to hang out in 2013, I think. Because I was still dating Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you were also working up at Park City. Is that the Urban Outfitters you were at? Or was that PacSun?
PacSun, yeah.
I remember that. I remember visiting you at work. But yeah, we had just started to hang out because it was when you were going through your divorce and I was going through my breakup where we went on our binge. The binge.
Drinking.
And that's what I was doing. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was single Valentine's of 2013.
I was physically single because my husband was in jail, but...
Yeah. I will say, though, that he was the MVP and being willing to risk his probation. Or was he on parole or probation?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah.
On beating up my ex.
Yeah, he would have done it in a heartbeat.
And it was really sweet. It was really sweet of him to do that.
It was a kindness for him.
He was reaching out when I needed it most.
Yeah.
Should have taken him up on it.
Should have. Because he would have done it. He would have made that dude disappear.
I should have, yeah.
So anyway, we had different things going on. You did. I'll say it. Chelsea put the microphone away to say he only disappeared himself. And yes, he did.
Oh, that was a secret for you and me only.
No, everyone gets to hear it. It's funny, okay?
Oh, God, it's so bad.
No, it's, okay, I'm sick of toxic positivity.
You're right.
Sometimes when bad people
You just have shitty
just
positivity.
go out the window, you're like, we'll see you later.
You pull your neck and you go, oh.
So moral of the story is we were all doing crazy things in 2013.
Yeah.
But Minister Nathan Lugfold?
There's no G in that. Luthold.
Luthold. There we go.
It's so funny.
I saw Gabe next. My dyslexia put a G in there. Luthold gave his children Valentine's Day cards before school.
That's sweet.
But the only thing he gave his wife, it was
less sweet.
It wasn't a pearl necklace, sexual or actual material pearl necklace. It wasn't a diamond ring. It wasn't a bouquet of roses. It was a bullet through the fucking face.
Ah! And all he gave his kids was a card.
Yeah. No, if we could only be so lucky.
That is cute, though. If my dad gave me a Valentine's Day card, I'd be like, Dad,
Thanks.
adorable.
Hopefully that'll help soothe the trauma of knowing he blew your fucking mom's face off.
It might.
Maybe. Hold on to it. It's with love. With love. Signed love.
It's like, why is it all sticky and splattered with red?
God.
He's like, that's the love, honey.
It's the love. It took a jury only 90 minutes to find him guilty of murdering his wife, Denise. he had laid in wait for his wife to return home so he could fire a gunshot right through her fucking
He
head.
was hiding behind their sheer curtains. And the sun was shining through. And she was like, Nathan, what are you doing?
He's
and
like,
then
he
killed
closes
her.
his eyes. She can't see me.
He was hiding under the couch, but his like feet were hanging out.
You know? Yeah, literally. Men will pay the most attention to detail for everything else other than just taking care of you. He was like, I have been sitting here behind this curtain for 6 hours and 15 minutes. I've pissed my fucking pants.
He put a clothespin on the end of it. Just to like fill up like a balloon. Just fucking.
Just waiting.
Oh, man. Yeah, he blew his prostate right out of the water by holding his pee all day.
Oh,
And his wife came home and he was like, what do you want to do for Valentine's? And she's like, why don't we just stay in? And he's like, you're so reasonable. And then
blew her face off.
Yeah.
Investigators found that he made hundreds of internet searches about how to most effectively kill someone.
It's like, you gun, you fucking idiot. You just shoot him.
This is the most boomer murder. Like, he's just in Google, like,
it's like,
how do I kill someone?
And they're like, murder, you dumbass. You just fucking shoot him. People are so dumb.
How do you kill someone best?
They're like, a gun? You fucking Neanderthal?
He had Googled how much poison a human body could withstand and how to quietly fire a 40 caliber Glock handgun, the weapon he used to murder his wife. I love that. That's what I'm saying again. Men will do everything other than be well.
Yeah, they're out here doing the most at doing the bare minimum.
Exactly. They'll be out here Googling, like, how to poison a human, how to make it look like an accident, what's the quietest gun? But they will not be like, maybe I should leave my marriage and get therapy because I want to murder people.
Why does my wife give a long, forlorn sigh every time I'm done having sex with her? And then immediately go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I hear her quietly cry.
Yeah.
I gotta kill her.
Got to.
Like, I have the emotional intelligence to give my kids Valentine's Day cards. So I know that I can put minimal effort into anything.
Minimal.
I bet this wife was so used to getting fucking crumbs that she probably would have been stoked with a shitty Valentine's Day card. Would have turned the whole marriage around.
Absolutely. Honestly, if she was married to a bullshit ass pastor, I bet the moment she saw that fucking gun meeting her gaze, she was like, thank God. Yeah. Thank God. I'm fucking out of here.
It's like in the movies where someone gets stabbed with a sword and they pull themselves further onto the sword.
And they're like, just let's get it together.
Yeah. She did that, but,
yeah,
with a gun.
And just to make sure we really hone in how great of a dude Minister Nathan was. He had used his children's college fund to pay his mistress hush money to not tell the police they were having an affair. The mistress was at the house often teaching the children Lithuanian. Don't worry, this piece of shit was sentenced to 80 years. But not life, but maybe I guess he's old, so they're like, I guess this sounds better. I just hate that. Put him in there forever. Be like eternity. So even after you die, your ghost has to come back and finish the sentence.
Ooh, I love it when they're like, you're sentenced to 500 years in prison, and then the judge dips their middle finger in ink and signs it by like flipping them off.
Yeah, that's my favorite as well.
I'm like, yeah, get their ass. I'm like, oh yeah, the United States has too harsh of punishments and we don't focus on rehabilitation. And I'm like, oh, you use their college fund money to pay off the mistress? 200 years.
Yeah. Rot forever. Okay.
Can't hide behind curtains in the brig, piece of shit. I bet he got a little fucked up in prison because a minister comes in. No, they might have been nice to him.
I bet they were nice to him, which sucks.
That does suck. Let's write him a note and say that his hiding spot was terrible.
If we just tell all of that, we just go to the prison he's at and tell all the inmates that he was like a child murderer, he's done. He's over.
Yeah.
Okay. Help me with this last name. Stacy
Shack.
Shoek.
I would say Shack.
Shack?
Stacy Shack.
Stacy Shack.
Yeah.
Hated the fuck out of her husband, Richard.
Old Dick.
Good old Dick. And as this was her 5th go-around with marriage, we can assume that she hated that too. Just like any completely and totally sane woman, she decided to hire a personal trainer known as Mr. Results. I think that's really good advertising. Your personal trainer, what's your name?
Is it?
Mine would be Mrs. Revenge Body. That would be like my thing.
That's a good one. I was actually going to see if you wanted to come to CrossFit with me again when it opens so that we could do Revenge Body.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
You can be Mr. Results.
I could be. I feel okay. So I'm simultaneously debating whether or not he had frosted tips or if he had that little monk haircut or it's like
If this
or the
helps
Caesar
you,
haircut.
It was
you know?
a Caesar haircut. He was a big, beefy black man. And she was
He wouldn't have
like
had a Caesar haircut.
She was like a mayonnaise Miracle Whip white bread sandwich.
Okay.
That helps paint a picture.
Stacy Shack.
Unfortunately for Dick.
Oh, Dick.
Oh, Dick. She wasn't working on that premature revenge body. Mr. Results was also moonlighting as a hitman.
This is a bad movie where they try to play all fast and loose with the lighting in there and then everything just looks overexposed and oversaturated.
Yeah. I'd still watch it. Big
It
fan
depends
of
on who's in it.
Who's playing Mr. Results?
Big Idris Elba.
Ooh, I would love Idris Elba as Mr. Results.
Yep.
Even more unfortunate for Dick, he was a hot air balloon enthusiast.
That's cool as fuck, though.
We've already talked about how I feel about hot air balloons.
They're dope.
I don't like them.
Well, you're wrong.
Well,
this is
he
all
was
die on
also
this
wrong as well.
Okay.
Because he died.
Yep.
Maybe
So he was wrong because he loved too much.
Yeah, we could say that.
Nothing can possibly go wrong for Dick on Valentine's Day and his big-ass weather balloon.
No. Even though Valentine's Day plus a giant balloon in the sky was the perfect plot to get away with murder.
Yeah.
She told her husband, Dick, to meet in the park for a romantic exchange of V-Day cards and a little hot air balloon ride.
They were virgin cards because they actually probably never had sex.
That's probably very true. Tupac. I'm gonna die. The Caucasian jumped out. I can't help it. I'm white.
You're just sweating mayonnaise.
I can't help it.
Tupac.
Oh my God. Let me be Caucasian in peace.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Tupac taught us that bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And I hope to teach you that Valentine's Day sucks. So we should all be coming to the conclusion that bad shit is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just days before, Stacy, the wife, and her coworker / friend, Lynretta?
What? Lenitra.
You know I can't read.
You just sounded out.
No.
I'm being a real hypocrite because I struggle on names every week.
Well,
but it's like when I'm not expected to say it first, I can fucking pronounce anything in the world.
Well, also I need everyone to know that I'm reading off of my notes, which are like across the way from me, and I'm just really hoping I can figure it out. Well, they were sharing some chips and salsa at a local Atlanta restaurant, planning the hit, how they would pay Mr. Results $10,000 to kill Richard and get his $500,000 life insurance policy in return.
I'm more shocked at like just how fast and loose we were playing with germs pre-COVID. Like if you asked me if I would share chips and salsa right now, I would hit you in the mouth.
You know, that's how I know we're all damaged forever. I was watching a movie where it showed like a club scene and I was like, Jesus, everyone's too close.
Yeah.
Like I'm forever fucked, man.
Yeah. Like when you came over and watched Face Off
Mm-hmm.
and we were all on the couch, I felt like I was doing something wrong.
Well, we were technically, but that's okay.
That's fine.
I'm ready to die.
Yeah. Not from COVID. No. I want to come home one day and have like Oliver just squatting behind a chair, but he's so big and the chair so like a bar stool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And then he just has the gun out.
Oh.
And then he shoots me.
Ooh. Spicy.
Yeah, but I want him to give Puffin a Valentine's Day's
card
first.
and then put him doggy daycare.
We're coming up on it.
Yeah.
You better plan a good murder, you piece of shit. I'm
Getting
sorry I called you a
close.
piece of shit, dear. But you know what?
Sometimes you be like that.
They really do be like that, though.
On the night of February 14th, rather than meeting his wife for a romantic date, he met gunfire from Mr. Results.
Damn.
And he was killed on sight.
Those are some results, though.
They are results. He did come through on that one.
Yeah. Do you think he fired the bullet in his mouth? And do you think he put lipstick on the bullet first? 'Cause
Absolutely.
That's true. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mr. Results is a poet.
He's Mr. Results.
Yeah.
Not Mr. Results in the form of like personal training because Stacy was a fat bitch, but like, you know, he had results other ways.
Yeah.
His moonlighting career. Before his body could even get cold, our poor friend Dick, Stacy claimed the life insurance policy, leading investigators to look at her as suspect number fucking one.
You can say, before his body even went limp.
Oh my god.
Ah!
It'd actually get hard first, but like, I'll let it slide.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Before Dick could even get stiff.
Nice. It was a pretty easy case to put together since almost the entirety of the crime was planned via text and phone calls.
Just writing on each other's Facebook walls.
Just like, lol, can't wait. See you with the gun.
45 wink faces.
Yeah, and this was pre Apple taking away the gun emoji, so they were just like sending it like to each other back and forth. What's her name? Lunitra never admitted her role, but was sentenced to life.
You can't help plan murders these days.
She's the friend. Stacy admitted to having an affair and admitted to the plot. She testified against the co-accused to avoid the death penalty and is serving life. Mr. Results also pleaded guilty and is serving life.
But you know what? He's never been more fit.
He's never. Oh my God, he's really killing it. Also, can I just say here right now?
Say it.
First of all, snitches get stitches.
She Takashi 6'9" everything.
Yeah, she really did. Fuck her, okay? Because, like, you know, he's already dead. He's not going to come back. Now you're going to just rat on these motherfuckers who had your back?
And
Fuck
you're still
you.
getting life in prison.
Yeah, that's it. And
to avoid the death penalty. You're not going to get the death penalty, you boob.
This was my other thing, though. If I was given life, I would just be like, death penalty right now. Let's go. Peace.
Yeah, and you're going to be on death row, get in your own private cell for 60 years before they kill you anyway.
Right? Like, come on, just let's go. If I murdered my husband with my friend and my personal trainer, who was moonlighting as a hitman, named Mr. Results, and I got caught, and I admitted to it, I would not rat on my friends,
right?
And then I'd be like, "Can I get the lethal injection?" Also, what does that look like? Do you think if you came into court saying "convict me and kill me," they would just do it despite you? Maybe that's how you win. You got
to reverse psychology on.
Yeah, you got to be like, I want to die. Kill me. I hope you give me the death penalty.
And then they're like,
no,
vile woman.
Yeah, we're not even going to put him in jail. We're going to put him in like a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
You know? Reverse psychology.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You outthink the outthinkers in the thinking. That's the real Mr. Results.
That is the Mr. Results.
Yeah.
We'll try it next time. Next time I kill my husband, I'll let you know. So, we're going to take it back in the time machine a little bit.
Ooh.
It's Valentine's Day, 1971. Just My Imagination by The Temptations is on the Billboard Hot 100. 19-year-old Jessie McBain and 20-year-old Patricia Mann were on their way to a Valentine's Day dance at a local hospital. Like, how 70s? You'd just be like, we're going to go to the hospital and dance.
Yeah. I mean, it would be fun if it was an abandoned hospital and it was Halloween.
That would be cool.
Then I would wrap my mind around it.
It would be cool also if it was an abandoned hospital and it could still be on Valentine's Day. And they're like doing spooky haunt dates.
Yeah, but you have to show up like a
murderer inside chasing them. It would be cool.
We could make so much money. Let's do that as soon as this virus isn't taking us all.
It might.
No, it's a Valentine's Day dance at a hospital. One person has COVID and they are just running rampant.
And it's called reality and we live it every day.
Yeah. And it's free. Yeah. And it costs you a lot. Well, it's free to play, but you got to pay.
Yeah.
If you get the COVID.
Yeah. You just go to your local hospital and make that happen.
Yeah.
At approximately 11:30 p.m., they left the dance and Mann signed out of her dormitory, which had extended its nightly curfew from midnight to 1 a.m. in order to accommodate the dance. They want their girls to have a good time.
But only until 1 a.m.
Only.
Anytime after 1 a.m. and you're a whore.
Yeah, the devil comes out at 2. They park in a nearby lover's lane to make out and heavy pet.
Heavy petting.
I assume. Or they could have been practicing their slam poetry. Who knows?
Either or. It's fine. There's the same thing.
The next morning, Patricia's fellow nurses knew something was up when they didn't see her return to the dorm rooms. They called local hospitals asking if there was a car accident. They tried to call Durham County Police Department within hours to file a report. But because this was the 70s, when groovy teens didn't go missing, they just ran away to listen to rock music or whatever.
Yeah, they're like record scratching. They're like, yeah, that's real groovy.
Yep.
So she's a nurse, eh? And then, I don't know how 70s hippies got
Yeah, you're mixing up your
They're like, hey,
eras.
man.
Hey,
Wild.
man. We just want to, I don't know, listen to the Doors and do acid.
Yeah.
Nothing was really investigated, which if you're a fan of true crime, you know that the 60s, 70s, not a great time to die because everyone was like, they just ran away to fucking follow the Grateful Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
They're
They're just young kids.
Yeah.
Forget that she's in. Well, you know what? I was about to say, she wouldn't leave school because she paid to be in school, but like you could get into school with a wink and a smile in the 70s.
Yeah, it cost 50 cents and a high five.
Yeah.
Which is, we love that. Great job, 70s cops. Even though they found the car abandoned in an empty cul-de-sac, their coats in the back, no sign of a struggle, the cops suggested that they ran away to elope.
Yeah. Cops were very literal then. They didn't drive away to elope. They ran away to elope.
Physically on their feet.
They Terminator sprinted out of that car to Vegas.
Yeah. Never to be seen again.
Nope.
The missing persons case goes cold for about 2 weeks when a surveyor working in a wooded area on a one-lane dirt road sees a mannequin leg sticking up near a pile of leaves.
Literally never a mannequin.
It never is.
They always think it's a mannequin. For
Yeah.
how often someone thinks it's a mannequin, how often have they actually seen a mannequin out
Zero
in the middle of nowhere?
times.
We should plant a mannequin, and that would be the first time a mannequin has ever been found outside, and it's
true.
not a body.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Black Dahlia. Literally like a dead body in front of someone's front, like in their lawn. And they're like, look at that mannequin.
Yeah.
Like, okay, buddy, whatever you tell yourself.
It's just the lies we tell ourselves
Right?
to sleep at night.
So naturally, surprise, it wasn't a fucking mannequin. The two bodies were tied to a tree, leaned against each other. How cute.
That is really cute.
really romantic.
Aw, Valentine's Day.
It was Jesse and Patricia.
Oh.
Sad. Marks on their necks and bodies indicated that a rope was tightened and slackened around them multiple times, implying some sort of torture. So they were like, They were like, choke, breathe, choke, breathe, choke, breathe, choke, breathe.
Like the mom on Hereditary. Just
yeah, with those piano wires.
Yeah.
Dee.
they were. So this killer was just a visionary of
A24.
of cinema. Yeah.
Because their kidnapping and death happened in different counties, multiple police precincts were involved, and as we know, police didn't talk to each other until 1997, and they were reluctant to share information with each other, as anyone who watched the Night Stalker documentary knows that, like, the LAPD was, like, fucking them over. And you're like, people are dying. They're like, well, we care. We look like in the news.
Yeah, they're like, well, I've got this coffee to drink.
Mm-hmm. So, fuck you.
And that's my day is full.
I can't be bothered to share my notes with you, so sorry. Because of that, because of good old-fashioned police work, and by work I mean doing nothing, no suspects were ever brought in, and the murder remains at large today.
Aww. To like reunite, you know, was the killer the real villain here because he just united them forever on Valentine's love.
Maybe that's what it was.
That's the hipster's dream death.
Mm-hmm. Symbolic.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
It's
Speaking of dying, remember our great friend Valentine's Day?
Nothing bad happens on Valentine's Day.
Never. It's only full of love. 2007. Stephen Grant notified a local police precinct that his wife, Tara Lynn Grant, was missing. Oh no.
She must have been out buying flowers for herself.
Absolutely, because he wasn't buying them for her. That's one thing we know for sure.
Right.
After interviewing Stephen, police discovered that there was a 5-day gap between where his wife went, quote, missing and when he reported her disappearance.
But she was really particular. about the flowers she bought herself.
Yeah.
And she preferred to pick them herself after
In a different
cultivating-
country.
Yeah.
She went to the Netherlands.
It's not adding up, Steven.
I just love that. This is the audacity of man. No offense, not all men. Hashtag not all men. But hashtag sometimes all. Most. Hashtag the majority.
Yeah. If you feel attacked by us saying not all men, then you are the man. If you think it's funny that we say all men, you're like, ha ha ha. These wide sweeping generalizations don't hurt me because I'm secure in myself.
Exactly.
So call yourself out.
Yeah. Hashtag figure it out. The audacity is that he called the police because he was like, oh shit, she can't just go missing. I have to call it in.
Yeah.
I'm the hero. I'm the good guy. I'm the knight. But then not enough wherewithal to fill in those 5 days. He was just like, it was Monday and then it was Friday. And I don't know. You know,
He like
sometimes
pulled
it
out his
happens.
pockets to like show like, I got nothing. And then he just went, "Ooh," and he Kanye shrugged.
Yeah. He
and
did
gave him
another
the microphone
necktie
back.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't know. He time traveled, honestly. That's what at least if you said that, it's something.
Yeah. I could come up with a real good time travel story if I ever kill somebody.
Right? Like anything. Come on. What is this? Your first time with murder?
Amateur. It's amateur hour up here.
Seriously. And like most guilty husbands, he immediately began going on a media tour, appearing on a ton of shows and accusing the police of harassment. Very like, this reminds me of Lacey Peterson. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I think it was almost around like the same time, honestly, because I was living in the Bay Area when Lacey Peterson was missing / murdered by her horrible husband in just 30 minutes away. And he did that whole thing where it was like, he was like, my wife, then he would like get on the news and be like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. And you're like,
this motherfucker.
I can read through your frosted tips, you sorry motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, where are the tears, Scott?
Right?
Scott, Steven, the S for snake, S for Slytherin.
S for shithead.
It all ties together.
In early March, police executed
You got it. You nailed it.
executed a search warrant on the Grant's home and found mangled pieces of Tara's remains on the floor of the garage, which also, again, the audacity of man.
Never clean up after themselves.
Never. Not even when it's their wife's remains.
No, she got to do it all around here.
Right? She's not here anymore. These messes just leave themselves.
The audacity.
That's what I'm saying. Not a single fucking Clorox wipe could have made its way through that fucking garage after murdering your wife. Really?
No.
It's that hard.
He just wants to Al Bundy sit on the couch with his hand down his pants and do nothing.
Club. Is it really that hard to put the dish in the dishwasher? Is it?
Rinse it first if you love me. If you hate
Honestly,
me, just at least put it in the dishwasher.
I'll give you one better for our friend Steven. You don't even have to fucking wash it first. Rinse it off first. Put it in the dishwasher. Run it as many times as you need to till it gets clean.
Over
this
and
is
over
our
again.
America.
You pull it out. You're like, not clean.
Do it again.
Put it back in.
Fuck the rules. But he
You
said,
own the house. You're
right?
a grown-ass man.
Do it. Who cares? Not me.
You didn't even have to, you could have just hosed down the garage a little bit.
A little bit. Anything would have been better than just leaving her guts and tissue and brain matter all over the floor.
It was like he had a lit cupcake in the center, and he was just like,
Here
happy
it
birthday
is.
to the police.
There you go. Surprise.
Just
Steven. He apparently originally dumped his wife's body in a local park. Non-conspicuous.
Right.
You know, no one will see it.
No.
No one goes to parks.
No.
But he moved it back into the garage after hearing the police would be searching the park.
He's like, what? They're going to look for her.
What? They won't just take me on my word? that
Egg
she's
on my
gone?
face.
Can't believe it.
Just,
Can't believe they would do this. They're going to check the park.
I
He's
could
just like, it's that Benny Hill music is playing like that,
Yeah.
and he's like moving her body all
the
across the town.
disgruntled, mumbling to himself. He's like, I can't believe I could have
God.
He kicks a can, but it's actually full of rocks, and he goes, no! And he jumps around in his garage holding his foot.
These dang police.
Yeah.
Steven. By the time of the search, he did the Scott Pilgrim thing. Not Scott Pilgrim.
He ordered an Amazon package and waited at the door for it.
He
defeated her 7 evil exes.
He had to defeat. That's what it was. She got caught in the crossfires. He did the Scott Peterson thing.
Yeah.
Where he dyes his hair.
Phonetically,
blonde.
they are similar.
And honestly, they're both bad people.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't rewatch Scott Pilgrim and realize that Scott Pilgrim is a fucking like preening pedophile creep weirdo, you're wrong.
Yeah,
How old is Knives?
Isn't she like 14? 15?
Yeah. How old is he?
21.
Older than that. He's 25.
Oh.
So, you know.
The audacity.
Never learn about your heroes.
No.
They always turn out to be pedophiles.
Don't get too close to the sun, little Icarus.
You will burn.
Stupid.
I know.
You know what's real stupid?
What?
We're being as stupid as Steven is.
Steven!
We thought he was hogging up all the dumb, but he's just shooting it in the air with like a t-shirt gun.
He is. Oh, Steven fled the state, but because he was obviously suspect number 1, and they found his wife's fucking brain matter in his fucking garage, the police caught up with him in Michigan. They tracked a phone call he made to his sister. After being brought in by police, Steven confessed, saying that he had strangled his wife after she belittled him and bit him.
He's like, she was a vampire, blah!
What would you do if Dracula was in your living room?
You gotta kill it! He's like, the funny thing is not with a stake, but just with your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Steven? I'm so sorry that your wife belittled you. # not all men. Right?
She's like, just rinse it before you put it in the goddamn dishwasher.
Is it really that hard to even put it in the fucking sink? You can't even clean up after yourself?
Steven!
He was sentenced to 50 years in prison.
And you know what? His cell is filthy.
Horrific.
He can't even run a wipe over it.
Not even.
Can't even wipe it.
Nope.
He just makes even more of a mess.
Disgusting.
You know, some say that he's still hunting vampires in prison, though. To this day.
If only he had filled those 5 days missing in his story with vampire hunting.
Yeah. Stephen Grant.
Stephen, you fucking asshole. Do you feel so filled with love?
Yeah.
Do you feel that Valentine's Day is just this perfect holiday full of romance? I'm not going to say passion because I think a lot of these men would say they were feeling pretty passionate.
Yeah.
Love and caring and gift giving and, you know.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I still think it's really fucked up that they killed all those puppies.
Yeah. When the holidays' roots have been watered by the blood of puppies,
yeah,
what does that say about the holiday?
It's bullshit.
I agree.
My plans. What's the best Valentine's Day you've ever had?
They've all been so disappointing.
My favorite Valentine's Day was I did a 5K with 2 good friends of mine.
This is how I know you're a piece of shit.
And that, you've met me. I don't like to run.
No.
And that was my best Valentine's Day.
Sounds horrible.
And I walked the whole time.
Good.
There was really bad pollution that day. It was like an air advisory. Mm-hmm. And I threw up.
Good.
And I was real hungover. I had to use my inhaler 40 times. But the memory of just hanging out with 2 good girlfriends, and I'm not trying to call out my partner or previous partners, but it was about friendship.
Yeah, that's the best. It always is.
Yeah.
I did have a good Valentine's Day last year, but that's last year's news.
It's tainted.
It is tainted.
You know what else happened last year? The birth of COVID. My sister died last year.
Yeah.
You're going to throw that in my face?
I know.
Last year is bullshit.
Horrible.
Tainted. Doesn't count anymore.
No. As far as I'm concerned, the year didn't exist.
No.
And I just woke up today in the middle of a hellscape going, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. It was like you were in a terrible nightmare and you woke up. You're like, bah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, next time someone gives you a Valentine's Day, remember that that just represents murder and puppy death and rape, and that makes you kind of lame, I think.
You got to guffaw and you got to go, how dare you?
Don't you disrespect me in my own house.
The only time you're allowed to go full Karen is when someone gives you a Valentine's Day, and then you just got to speak to the manager about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, this gross representation of love? You want to know how Cupid made people love each other?
Shooting them.
Yep.
He shot them.
And nobody thinks about the children.
No one thinks about it.
Cupid was the original school shooter.
He was.
We're all just fucking celebrating it, and he's too naked for my taste.
He is too naked. And is he a baby? Why is this baby child fucking school shooter in his diaper? What is he? Why is he
disgusting.
here?
He sounds horrible. You know what he is? He's a pervert.
He is a pervert.
And
anyone who looks like that and does that, pervert.
And if you try to celebrate killing puppies in my house, in Puffin's home, in the nest of Puffin, I'm going to hit you in the mouth. I'll punch your lip.
Punch you straight in the face.
Yep. I'll give you a fat lip.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
You're lucky Mr. Results is in jail for life, because I would call him up to handle you.
I'd call his ass. You know that he's wearing like muscle shirts that like are cut real low. So
yeah, we see the nipples.
And he's pulled up his joggers real high.
Yeah. Get wrecked, everybody.
Yeah.
So to that I say, hail Satan.
Praise puppies.
Praise puppies, absolutely.
They've had it too hard for too long.
I saw someone called Valentine's Vomentines. Like vomit.
Yeah.
Vomentines.
Yeah.
I do like that. That does make me feel very angsty.
It is fun. Yeah.
But rather than a happy Valentine's, I'll give you a happy go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.